Okay, round 2, we're on the draw. I think we're going to keep this hand. It is land heavy, but we've got a removal and a creature, so I think that justifies the keep. And all 3 colors. We have all 3 colors, a removal, a creature, a cheap creature, a cheap removal. So I think it's worthy of keeping. I mean, we're going to have to draw non-lands, but main deck we have our Bitter Revelation, I'm pretty sure. So, and I guess Sultai Charm in a pinch can draw us cards too, I guess. No 2-drops, so no nut draw from our opponent yet. Torrent Elemental is certainly a good draw. We can likely go Hooded Assassin to our opponent's Morph. No Morph. I definitely like no 2-3 drop from our opponent. That is good news. Douse and Gloom's a fantastic draw. Granted, we're showing our opponent we're Sultai right away, but I don't think that's a big concern of mine at the moment. I just want to make sure I can cast Sultai Charm when I need to. But yes, currently hand is looking good. We've got 2 removal. We've got a creature on board. Opponent's got nothing. We've got our Torrent Elemental coming. No spells from our opponent yet, which at this point is just shocking, but shocking in a very good way. Really close to using Sultai Charm as card draw, I gotta be honest. But gonna save it. We got Torrent Elemental on board next turn. And then as soon as I find a if he has removal for it, as soon as I find one of my Delve cards, I can bring it right back, which is nice. That's not worth a Sultai Charm, so I don't think I'm going to bust that. Douse and Gloom number 2, sure. So we'll bust out Mr. Torrent Elemental and we'll pass. So he's got to come up with quick answer for Torrent Elemental, and like I said, if he does, we can Sultai Charm, find a Delve guy, delve it away, and eventually get it back on board. What do you know? I almost don't want to play the Mandrills in case he finds an answer for the Torrent Elemental. Because like I said, I can delve it away and play it again, which is just crazy. And we're just going to win with it anyway, so why not? I mean, making him answer it twice seems better than getting a 4/4 that can be blocked on board right now. I guess it can't be blocked because of that, but it doesn't increase our clock, I don't think, really. I guess it does, but I still think it's the right choice. We only have 2 Delve spells, and, I mean, Torrent Elemental is clearly going to win the game. Like, no doubt. Like, him playing an Angler here, now I just Sultai Charm it. So he's not even beating back very efficiently. I guess it's still like a 2-turn clock. You know what? I stuck with the plan last turn. I'm going to do it again. Like I said, if he has an answer for Torrent Elemental, he has to bust it. If he does, I'll get it back. The Hooting Mandrills is like basically a Gravedigger for Torrent Elemental at the moment, which in my mind is pretty good. Well, I gotta admit, getting pretty tempted to play the Hooting Mandrills, but then if he has an answer to the Torrent Elemental, my Mandrills just gets blocked by Patrol, so I'm gonna continue to chill on it. Just douse that now. Alright, so this opponent's got feeder resistance as well. Good to keep in mind. Oh, now we draw another Delve spell. I see how it works. Alright, well, we're going to play the Attendants. Because now we have the Mandrills for... the Torrent Elemental. So Rakshasa Secret gets our Mandrills, but we got the Skull Hunter out with the Swamp. So now if he's got an answer to Torrent Elemental, once again, we get to do the Mandrills. Turned out to not matter, and he never had the removal the whole game. So I probably could have made that much quicker just by playing the Mandrills, but I still like the way that I played it given how the game turned out. This was my ace in the hole to get back our insane mythic that is just ridiculously powerful. So our opponent does not have a quick deck, or at least did not have a quick looking deck that game. That doesn't necessarily mean his deck's not quick, but Bitter Revelation still looks good based on what we saw. Douse and Gloom doesn't look very good based on what we saw, but he's got to have some morphs in there, so I'm going to keep him in. I could bring in the Rakshasa Secret. That's actually not the worst if he's got a lot of top end. But what would I want to cut for that? Maybe the Death Frenzy. Based on what we saw, Death Frenzy is not going to be that good. I'd rather have the Douse and Glooms. Let's swap a Death Frenzy for a Rakshasa Secret. This does double duty of making our Delve cheaper and kind of punishing our opponent for just playing land go. And Death Frenzy, like I said, just based on that game, doesn't look amazing. I think I'd still rather just have Douse and Gloom for early morphs and not rely on Death Frenzy, you know, mid to late game to do anything. It does take out a Timely Horde Mate, but we'll take it out for now. If it turns out he's got like a bonkers X2 deck everywhere, I'll bring it back in. But just based on what I saw, it didn't look that amazing. So I'd rather have a Secret. Okay, hand looks great. All three colors, got a 3-drop creature, we've got a morph, we've got a Bitter Revelation. I was waiting for the Typhoid Rats, and then it would have been like, oh, okay, I see. Alright, so likely going Hooded Assassin, Bitter Revelation, or maybe Sultai Charm. I'm really happy our opponent's a slower deck, I can tell you that much. So we get to go Hooded Assassin, Bitter Revelation, or Assassin Krumar, Bonkin, both of which is fine. Alright, he's playing it against us. So I think dump a forest since we're running 18 lands, and I think one of the Hooded Assassins can go too. Which is okay. I could have just dumped both my Hooded Assassins, but I think because I have 18 lands and a Bitter Revelation and a Sultai Charm that I can play, if I miss my land draw, worst comes to worst, I can draw 2, discard 1, so we continue to hit our land draws. It's funny that he had the same idea against us that we had against him. Great draw here, actually. So just kill that and get in for 2. We miss our land draw, or land play rather, but I could have waited on that, but given that I know my opponent's got feeder resistance, that doesn't seem like the best idea, since the upside on him feeder resistancing his Zabzan Battle Priest is pretty insane. Alright, nothing too crazy there. So now I may play the charm as like a draw card. Nope, looks like we don't have to. So let's do Jin and then we'll pass. That way we've got a nice ground blocker. And I can take a beating from a student if he swings for the fences with it. I'd also be just willing to block with Hooded Assassin, I guess. See if he throttles our Lotus Path Jin, which he could. Alright, looks like he did. Still can't really attack into us, though, which is good news. And we have Bitter Revelation, which is also good news. We have Bitter Revelation with 24 life, which is like the best news you could have. Well, it seems like a pretty good opportunity to play Attendance, to be honest. I think we're going to do that instead. I don't need to bitterly revelate just yet, and 3/5 Death Touch is quite the threatening body to have. 2 cards left in our opponent's hand. We've got removal for some Balmy Mythic that I don't know about. As long as it's monocolor, of course. Alright, no Feat of Resistance left up, interestingly. 2 cards left in our opponent's hand. We're just a mana away from casting the Bondkin. Ooh, Silumgar would be sexy too. Alright, let's swing with Attendance, and then I'm going to bitterly revelate, and we're going to start finding some lands. Alright, so he gets his free block, gets a Manifest Dude. We're going to Revelation. Got to hit some land drops here. No land drops? Well, I got to take the Torrent Elemental. And then I guess I take the Mandrills since I can actually play it. Although I could take the Throttle, but no. Definitely Torrent Elemental. Could take the Mandrills. Could take the Throttle removal. Could take the Soothsayer. I think we take Mandrills? I think we take Mandrills. I can't play Soothsayer or Throttle, but I can actually play Mandrills. But is it better for us? What's a 4/4 body do? I guess, 4/4 trample body is pretty good on this board. Probably better than a 2/5 that draws cards. Throttle is good removal, but we do have the Sultai Charm already. Mandrills also gives us a way to get back the Torrent Elemental if he finds an out for that. Alright, let's take the Mandrills. Okay. Not too intimidated by that. Doesn't really have a great attack here. He's got the Kieran, but not too worried about that. So if I draw a land, I slam the Torrent Elemental. If I don't draw a land, I probably just play Mandrills. Guess I can play Vanguard too. That's not bad. Alright. Swing with Attendance. Let's drop the Vanguard and pass. Could have played the Sultai Charm once again to draw some cards, but the reason I don't want to do that is I like having the Ace in the Hole removal against some sort of crazy monocolored creature that, like if he has like a Dagatar or something, I want to be able to kill it. Alright, Outlasting, which I would say is good news. Not particularly worrisome. Currently winning the race, which is good news. Although Salt Road Patrol is getting bigger, but cross that road when we come to it. There's our land, but unfortunately, well, let's swing with the Vanguard and the Attendance. Kind of have a bit of a racing advantage here. And maybe he tries to feat, and we get a good Sultai Charm blowout play. Somewhat. Ooh. That's interesting. So he's just double blocking. I don't even think it's worth using the Sultai Charm. I think I'd rather just kill the student. I'm okay with this. I'm actually okay with this. Kill shot on the shambling attendant. Well, now I'm a little more tempted to do the Sultai Charm. Because if I do Sultai Charm now, it kills student plus his manifest. Leaves me with my Evolicious Vanguard. And I can play a Mandrills. But at the same time, I kind of want to Sultai Charm his Salt Road Patrol eventually. So let's see. Kill student. Put a charm in my graveyard. Attendance dies. Follow up with Mandrills. Next turn, Torrent Elemental. With Vanguard still in play. That's better. That's better, I think. So kill student. Gotta cancel that. Kill student. Gotta leave up a green. Kill attendance, kill manifest. Follow up with Mandrills. And pass. And now we have Torrent Elemental follow up. Granted, I can't bring it back now if he has an answer for it, but we do get to keep him at bay a little bit. I guess he has the Salt Road Patrol blocks, but we're going to get the Torrent Elemental online, which is essentially a must answer. I didn't have to play the Mandrills either. I may have been able to get away with chilling on the Mandrills. There's a land, so I could play Silumgar, but we're definitely going for Torrent Elemental here since Torrent Elemental is essentially going to win the game. Because it's not a particularly fair card in Limited, but it's an amazing card to have, I'll tell you that much. Turns out tapping all of your opponent's creatures when it attacks is a really, really strong ability. And one that they do not do very often. We still have at least one more Delve card. In fact, we only have one more Delve card, but we have one way to bring back Torrent Elemental if he in fact has the out for it, which is, there's a chance he does. But we also have Silumgar coming up, which is going to be at least hexproof, so he can't deal with it with spells. And it can attack into Alabaster Kirin pretty effectively, I would say. Attacking with the Patrol. Alright, he's attacking with everything, so I suspect board wipe. So I think what the plan is, double block here and then block there. Could be end hostilities. If he's got like a Feat of Resistance play to protect his Salt Road Patrol, I actually don't mind that too much. He's taken out less important creatures than Torrent Elemental. But I certainly don't want to block with Torrent Elemental. In case of like Sandblast or something like that. Or a Throttle. It was a Throttle. Alright. This isn't that bad, actually. I mean, granted, he killed a couple of our guys, but he busted a Throttle. He tapped out. We've got a follow-up play that's just bonkers here. in Silumgar, but I might actually just drop the Bonkin, to be honest. Bonkin is lethal next turn, so I think that's actually wiser, because Silumgar's just short of lethal. So swings with everything, we take at least 7. I think I just take it to play it safe, so my Bonkin for sure survives, so we have lethal on crackback. He's got to answer Torrent Elemental. We still have a follow-up Silumgar, even if he does have the out to Torrent Elemental. All right. Has a harsh sustenance, so he's going to get to crack in for 7, which is half of our life. Something to keep in mind. But I think the Silumgar being essentially unanswerable is going to be a pretty good ace in the hole for us. Okay. So we'll bash in again. He can't deal with Silumgar that I can see. Can I play around another harsh sustenance? Not sure that I can. No, I don't have a way to play around harsh sustenance. I'm thinking I block the manifest, dude, too, just in case it's a creature for some reason, because it could be. Then I still have to take 5, which is quite a bit of damage. The problem was I needed to attack with both there to be lethal on my next turn, because if I only swung with my Torrent Elemental, or the Vanguard or whatever, one or the other, I only got him for 3, which would have put him at 10 life rather than 7, which means I couldn't crack in for lethal the next turn. Now, at least he has to answer. He has to have another harsh sustenance, which is common, so he easily could. He has to have a pump spell better than Feat of Resistance, so it's got to be Honor's Reward, which makes me just want to block his manifest even more, since he has to bolster on this. So I think if he attacks with everything, I block manifest. I take 5, ideally, as long as he doesn't have like harsh sustenance, double Feat of Resistance. I don't know. I mean, Honor's Reward still gains him 4 life, so it would still be good for him. But, okay. At least he doesn't have an answer for the Silumgar. Injury on the... Okay. This does actually buy him a turn. All right. I think I just swing with... I think I just swing with Vanguard. Oh, wait. I have lethal? Never mind. What am I talking about? Feat of Resistance does not get him out of that. Nope. Does not work. Not targeting. It's a mythic ability, folks. Quite good. All right. Made it to the finals of the 8-4. This is first time in the format, so that's definitely good news. At the very least, that means my next draft is an 8-4 as well, so that's cool. But yeah, let's do our round 3 with this deck that's playing well for us. Certainly playing well for us. I made some questionable choices in match 1, but match 2, our opponent's deck was slow enough where we could really capitalize on our high value spells. And match 1 was just super tight and epic, like I said. So let's see what we're facing in the finals.